Hi, thank you for pushing the play button. Really appreciate you being here. And to my subscribers, visitors, if you're a regular visitor, hit the subscribe. I'm going to talk about, as you can see from the thumbnail, our first subscriber meeting and with friends will be this Sunday, the 25th of January. And there is a format, how to stay regulated while others destabilize. Now I've got a real format, 4 pages here. You know, it'll be a good place to begin our meetings. The ramblings and readings meeting on Sunday, last Sunday of each month. And let's see, it's at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I need, now, this is a private community meeting for my subscribers and friends. So if you'd like to attend, email me with your YouTube subscriber name, and in the subject line, put ramblings and readings, okay? And I will email you the Zoom ID and passcode to come on into the meeting, all right? And I'm going to keep that, you know. So anyway, I'd love to have you there. Just email me at mothers, that's mother with an S on the end, mothers tarot, TAROT, at gmail.com. If you prefer encrypted email, you can email me at motherstarot at protonmail.com. Okay, that's all encrypted. So it's going to be real good. Artrilla, thank you for asking about a format. You know, Spirit is listening and provided me with the much needed grounding format, how to stay regulated while others destabilize. And yeah, it's a great format. You know, it's no ickiness, none of that. It's all intern, you know, and tools that we can use, you know, to help ourselves and the people around us, you know, without, there ain't gonna be no preachiness, none of that. Just being our authentic selves. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be great. So, and a reminder, we create peace just by thinking about it. Using the fifth element of physics, solidly proven to be the observe effect, commonly known as manifestation. We're all familiar with that. If you've been hanging around on reader channels, you know that. So we can, what's coming down the pike, the energy can always be adjusted by us and our thoughts, all right? This is how we reinvent ourselves, living moment to moment, okay? With the best thoughts we can muster for peace. Now, before I get going, I'm going to do a reading using the tree form layout for the collective. That's another one that the realm just gave me. I did that in the last one. This time I'm going to use my tarot cards with it. But first, I want to, let's remove all negative energies, okay? So here is an affirmation you can use anytime, all right? Take 3 deep breaths. Hold them for longer than it took to inhale, and then exhale it. So let's do the 4 7, 8 count. Okay. Here we go. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8. One more time. I remove all negative energies that I have accumulated or that have been directed at me by others from my body and energetic field. I am placing a shield of the divine around me, the power made of powerful, bright, positive energy. It covers me completely, blocking all negative energies from entering while allowing positive energies in and out freely. Okay. Just use that. You know, if you get to feeling a little destabilized, use that. It helps. Okay. And I hope you're all doing really well. I know we're in rocky waters, but we're going to be okay. So, all right. And I hope to see you Sunday on the Zoom community meeting. I'm going to call it ramblings and readings, you know. So we've got our format, and which is perfect. And I believe that's going to be an ongoing format. So we can just kind of go over that, you know, and we'll see what develops through comments from what you want to share or questions you may want to ask. And then after that, we'll just, you know, if you want, we can pull cards, do a reading, you know, if there's a, you know, topic that everyone seems to be landing on, and the chat will be open. So we'll communicate back and forth there. And I will also in the beginning, I'm going to show the different cards that I have available, decks, free. I will send them by USPS ground with tracking, and no cost to you. And you can choose from one of them, or you can choose a free reading by me, and that'll be done over Zoom. You know, you can be present for it, or you can just ask a question and ask me to tape it, and I'll email it to you, you know, or you can be present with me on Zoom and we'll do it. I will do a 15 card trajectory layout. So it looks at your path that you're on and where that's going. And then there's a third that says, you know, this path don't change. And it shows you the tools and energies that's at your disposal. So, you know, because energy, it's more than fluid. It's always changing, you know, much like water. It doesn't stand still. Well, it's a little different than water. I guess water can be still if you got it in a bowl. But energy, etheric energy, that's always changing. So anyway, I hope you will take this opportunity and join us in the community on Sunday, 4th Sunday of the month, 3 p.m. Pacific. Oh, good. Okay, now let's get a read on how everybody's doing. And this is going to cover, I'm going to read this to you so you understand where we're going here. This is called the tree form layout, and the guides gave this to me recently. I've only used it a few times. So the first card, there's 11 cards. First card is the guiding awareness watching over you right now as the collective, us as the collective. Okay, this sets the tone of the entire reading. Everything else grows in response to it. The second card, what you are processing, the collective. What you're trying to understand is the third card. That's the collective, because this is a reading for the collective, for all of us. Fourth card, what is becoming clear, even if not yet accepted? All right. And then, part of this, well, the story of cards 2, 3, and 4 is of the mind catching up to the soul. This is where we are actively making sense of things, the conscious integration. Okay, that's the tree trunk of this layout. And then cards 6, 8, and 10. It's like the left hemisphere of the brain represents what makes sense because we've lived it. Often reveals coping strategies, planning, or self-protecting. No judgment, no. And then the right side of the brain, cards 7, 9, and 11, represents what the heart and body already feel, but may not be saying it out loud. Yeah. Okay. And then the base of the trunk of the tree, card 5, this is what's already been rooted in us, the collective. Okay. So, all right, let's see what kind of message. I tried to step up the light in here. I know I've had some pretty bad ones lately. Just getting everything figured out. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to start. And I've got some oracle cards available to read afterwards. So, and at the meetings on Sunday, we did, after I show the cards and all that, what you'll do is you will put your name in all capitals in the chat, and the selection, whatever choice you made off of I think there's going to be like 3 tarot decks and 3 oracles offered along with my reading. So there'll be like 7 choices. You get to choose one, but there's 7 choices available. That's how that's going to roll. All right, that should be fun. And then in the last 15 minutes of the meeting, before the final blessing and closing, is when I will use it's a Wheel of Fortune thingamajig where I can put your names in, while we're there, and then it'll select the winner, so I don't have to do it. So I'll use one of them contraptions, unless I find something easier to maneuver, but the same thing, it'll be some kind of app pulling the winning name. Okay. All right, Spirit, for the collective, please, for our highest and greatest good. Tree form layout. 11 cards. 2 more shuffles. 2 more shuffles. And we'll lay them out. Okay. Yeah. 2 more shuffles. There's 1 more shuffle. 1 more shuffle. Okay. So get your calendar out, mark it, and email me. All right. Don't forget, motherstarot@gmail.com. or Mother's Troll at patreon.com, patreonmail.com, patreonmail.com. All right. Oh, the guiding awareness watching over us right now, the collective. And we've got the Ace of Swords. So we're trying to make sense of a whole lot of things right now. A whole lot of things. You know, there's new conflict. Yeah, unfortunately, you know. And every day is a surprise, isn't it? Yeah. There's intellectual clarity every day too, you know, on our part, and for the ones behind the scenes frantically working amongst. There's all, you know, I agree with, it was probably Susan Lynn who mentioned it, that, you know, because I was saying this, I've said it to my children, you know, there are times of desperate, you know, this place is so messed up. There are good people who believe in the democratic republic that are working fearlessly behind the scenes to hold us together, to write us back on the course that we're supposed to be on, you know. And that is a divine course that we are supposed to be on. I screwed it up starting out, but, you know, we got to fix it. We got to fix it. So, and with the Ace of Swords comes new and clear ideas. So, yeah. So that's the guiding awareness watching over us right now. And what the collective is processing, oh yeah, justice. Yeah. We're watching it all, you know. Equity, the universal law of cause and effects. And all actions have consequences. And this is going to come to bear this year. So come to our Sunday community meetings. You will be glad you did. You will. It's a great format. It's a great format. Right from spirit. Absolutely. Okay, and now the third card, what the collective is trying to understand. Yeah. Well, we got the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is the card of collaboration, you know. So, and you can see we got people sitting around tables brainstorming, you know. It's like I told you with the in the Ace. There are people working diligently on what's going on. Okay. And don't ever underestimate the people of North America, including Canada and Mexico. Mexico is part of North America. Yeah. They're not part of Central America. So. Okay. So that's how that goes. And then, okay, card number 4, what is becoming clear, even if not yet accepted? Yeah. Yeah. The card of transformation. Death. The death card. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are just like that, you know, just like that. Hey, you know, and it'll be the very last minute possible before they pick up. Yeah. But it's a metamorphosis. It's a rebirth. It's end of a cycle. The emerging of new possibilities. That's what this card's about. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, tells the story of the mind catching up to the soul. Yeah, absolutely. This is the mind catching up to the soul. We begin with, we did that too, didn't we? Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, first we start out with the Ace of Swords, and then we got Justice, card of consequences, got the card of collaboration, and we got the card of the end of cycles, the end of a cycle. Because this is where we're making sense of things in these three cards. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and read at the, yeah, I got to lay it down. At the root of things. All right. It's the Emperor, the orange twit, Sleepy Dawn. Yeah. Rules, strategy, structure, endurance, and practicality. This is what's already been rooted in us. All right. That's what that card means. But it also is one that political readers associate with the Orange Menace. Okay, now I'm going to lay out the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, and we'll finish this up. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. All right, so cards 6, 8, and 10 represent what makes sense because we've lived it. All right. Often reveals coping strategies, planning, or self-protecting. No judgment. All right. So what we've got here makes sense. What makes sense? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we've got the Two of Cups. All right. We start out with the Two of Cups. And then the Four of Pentacles. This is for the left side of the brain, left hemisphere. And then the Hangman, you know, because this is what's making sense. Because we've lived it. So the Lover's card, trust, friendship, agreement, partnership, like-minded. Community also, you know. I mean, within our communities, we need trust and friendship, like-mindedness, you know. And there's a big search on right now for community, you know, for 2026. Because we're looking for stability, you know, and we're going to find that stability in our community, you know, or communities if you're lucky enough to have more than one. Because this is about security and control, stability, most of all. And then surrendering, the Hangman. So we're surrendering. We need to be able to trust ourselves. All right. We need to be able to pull from insight from our soul, from our higher selves. That's where our insight comes from. Using discernment, creating a new perspective. And this calls for some self-sacrifice on our part. You know, we all have found ourselves during times of our lives where we've needed self-sacrifice in order to evolve, get to the other side of whatever experience we're dealing with. So that's what that speaks to. All right. Now, the right side of the brain, cards 7, 9, and 11 represent what the heart and body already feels, but may not be saying it out loud. All right. This is interesting. His first card out on that, number 7, is the Fool. All right. And the Fool is about taking a leap of faith. You know, it's about potential and exploration. It talks about inner knowing, new beginnings, and new possibilities. Yeah. We find those within community. You know, whether you're in the doing it on the internet or whether you're in the real world with your neighbors, in the physical world with the neighbors and that community there also. This is what we already feel, but maybe not be saying out loud. Card number 9 is the Page of Wands. Now, for me, the wands, they carry the most magic, you know. They're just magical. Page of Wands is a free spirit, high achiever, carries information and news with a dynamic personality and explores the unknown. And this is what this time is about. We got no choice. We're in the unknown territory. You know, when we look at what is going on around the world and look at where the planets are, it's all unknown. You know, it's all unknown. It's also about information and news. You know, because when we have community, we have access to more information and news at a reliable source, you see. You know, it's you're not getting corporate news. You're getting real ground news, what's happening to people, which helps make us stronger. And we can disseminate the possibilities needed for handling things. You know, it's like, you know, when you've just got one mind, you're kind of boxed in. But when you got a community, a like-minded community, you've got more ideas and potential resolution for different things that come up, you know? So we need our community. And I hope you join us Sunday. Now, the last card here, card 11, is the devil. Materialism. This is very much about materialism and greed, this card is. But materialism is a factor. Absolutely, a giant factor. But what we're dealing with right now from the highest office is absolute cruelty. All right? An addiction. You can't tell me he's not. Self-destruction, anguish and spite, self-imposed bondage. This represents what the heart and body already feels, but may not be saying it out loud. What's going to come down this year? It's going to be like a split. How I understand it. And what was her name? There's the Bulgarian woman. God, she advised presidents and everything. She saw this and wrote about it, and they recently found it in her journals. In 2026, it's going to be like two different realities, and they will not be mingling. All right. Will one realize and choose love over materialism? I don't know. She didn't know. But the safe way, we choose love, you know? That's the way of the Christ consciousness. We choose love, and we'll be okay. To turn your back on love, I don't even want to think about living in something like that. Not at all. But that's going to be our choice this year. Do we choose love or not? For me, it's the love. So join me Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern for our first rambling and readings meeting. And we will discuss how to stay regulated while others destabilize. We regulate ourselves with love. We stabilize ourselves with love. We be the pillar. Hopefully, and I know I've got family I'm real concerned about. I can't tell them. They ain't gonna listen to me. But I can live in this example of love and community. And that will help be a guiding light for anyone who's even inkling about having to make that choice. So I'm hoping for the best there. All right, now let me get, we got the Soul Helper Oracle. All right, we got Ask Your Soul Message card. We'll do that. And I've got the Truth Oracle. That's a new one. So I did create some oracles too. I've got, I'm still working with them, still feeling my way with them. And I've got two typed. I've got a second gypsy type card coming in. Only it's not as flamboyant as the Play Fortune Teller deck is. So, okay, Spirit, with the Truth Oracle, guidance, please. Every time I do this, I think I should have laid these down before I read the tarot, the layout. It's so because I just think it's fun. It works out so well. I love it. Spirit, some guidance, please. Here we go. Divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, karma. Look at that. Oh, yeah. The shadow card is the rose, passionate love, thorns, short. I love this stuff. That is, yes. Well, that's like me with this format. That was divine intervention, I was trying to bump my way through a sort of format, and then, I asked for help, and voila, voila, they brought it to me this morning. So love it, love, love, love. All right, now because if you need help, all you got to do is be still and ask. Susan Lynn says they're sitting around twiddling their thumbs, just waiting for us to ask for help. Like I said, my dad's come through. And that is so cool. He was the last person I ever expected to show up during this time in my life. He's been off this planet since 1972. In fact, it was the 7th of January, so this month, a long time ago. So anyway, yeah. And since I've been doing this, over the last, 4 years now, I've paid for 2 different past life readings, the only ones I've ever paid for. And he came through both times. And then he's come through again through some other readers just here recently. Just this month. Anyway, I really appreciate it. Love my dad. This one? Okay. Embrace your authenticity. You see that? Embrace your authenticity. Absolutely. Yeah. And then the shadow, discover your calling. Discover your calling. I love this. Love, love, love this. Okay, now the last one, we'll wrap it up. How are we doing on? Okay, we're not too bad on time. I'm not too bad on time. All right. Soul Helper Oracle. This one's got a book, so there'll be a little bit of reading on this one. I'll read out of the book. All right. Spirit. These big cards. The cards I am developing now. This is the latest one. Just came in. Heart Matters Oracle. This is the back of the deck. Yeah. And so wonder, I'll just pull one card out of here and see what happens. And then I'll do the Soul Helper Oracle. Card out of here, see what resonates. Okay. Take it slow. Take it slow. Heart matters. Anyway, that's pretty cool. All right. So, but I like the size of the, bridge cards, poker cards. They're just easier to handle for me. So, yeah. So that's what I'm using. One more, Spirit. Soul Helper Oracle, please. Wow. Okay. What's the shadow? Wow. Okay, the one I drew. To conform is to die inside. Be brave and be yourself. All right. Now I'm going to read that out of the book. The shadow card. A message is trying to reach you. Be vigilant. The spirit world wishes to find and touch you. No kidding. Look at that. Incredible. All right. So let's read this. To conform is to die inside. And there's always, when it sounds a little ooh, there's always a great message to it. At least that's what I've found. Okay. Listen. All right. Oh yeah, it does. It's got a number. All right. Thank goodness it's got a number. Okay, I'm getting to it now. There we go. Here we go. All right. Now. Yep, the whole thing. All right. Conforming can be a positive in certain situations. For example, when someone conforms out of politeness, yeah, yeah. Anyway, this card has a warning for you. However, to live means to bravely follow your own path. Following the paths of others means, in a sense, dying, withering inside. So true. You merely exist on the paths of others, but you cannot live. You will find the light of your own life only on your own soul path. Recognize and acknowledge your lies and errors. It is a mistake to believe that you can please everyone and follow their wishes. It is impossible. You have been dazzled by the bright kaleidoscope of colors of those who rob you of your strength and your light, and you have lost yourself in them. You have conformed as a chameleon would, and you are making their resonances and opinions your own. It sounds a lot like a political thing. Or it could be otherwise too. But I know for a lot it's more political related. It is time to realize this and learn how to say no. It is time to have only your own colors in your life, to feel only your own happiness, to let your own light shine out. Inner life or inner death? Which do you want? And who are you? It is now time to rebel, to start a revolution. Free yourself from your lower negative energies and decide who you want to be. The moment has also come to share this with the world and those around you. Do not hesitate any longer. Your soul is speaking to you. Listen to your heart, to your feelings. Listen to your own truth. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always had that, you know. I don't conform well. I don't. Anyway, remember, love yourself, love the others, and be the light, because you are the light. You are the light. We are facets of the Creator, the love, the omnipotent one. Don't lose sight of that. We're here for a grander plan. It ain't just about me. It ain't just about you. It's about all of us. It's about humanity and its survival and evolution. So, hang on. Join a community, even if it's not with me. Susan Lynn's got one. I'm part of that one too. My community on Mother's Tarot, ramblings and readings. I hope will feed our souls, all right, and our spirit, sustain us. help us move through this. So I hope you'll email me for the ID and passcode to Zoom for this Sunday, the 25th of January, 2026, 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I hope to see you there. All right. Love to you all. I hope to see you soon. All right. If not, thank you for stopping by. I love you. So hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.